Hi, my name is Rodrigo and I'm a sex worker.
And I'm Francesco and I'm interested in learning more about sex work.
This video is part of a series produced by Smart Berlin, a professionalization and empowerment project as well as an information and counseling center for sex workers in Berlin who are men or trans. You can find more details about Smart Berlin at the end of this video.
In this video, we're going to talk about different aspects of sex work for men and trans people. Like what are some of the different ways to practice sex work, but also what might be the motivation to offer this kind of service. So let's get started.
Sex work is still a taboo, and if there is information on the subject, it is mostly related to women and sex work. When it comes to sex work as a profession, there are less to non-existing qualification programs. In this video, we would like to give you insight into the work and day-to-day reality of men and trans people who are or want to get involved in sex work. With this episode, we are contributing to our informational video series for sex workers who are men or trans.
Even if this profession seems like more of a niche, there's always been and still is a demand for sexual services provided by men and trans people. In comparison to women in sex work, there are almost no spaces for sex workers who are men or trans where they can safely provide their professional activities.
Therefore, we usually have to organize spaces ourselves. This plays a crucial role because it means that, in addition to providing sex services, men and trans sex workers also have to invest time in advertising, scheduling appointments, and finding safer spaces to work. Furthermore, we have to deal with bureaucratic matters such as taxes and health insurance.
So what requirements are necessary for professional sex work?
Anyone who is of legal age 18 can choose to engage in sex work in Germany. According to the Prostitution Protection Act in Germany, you do not have to prove any special prior knowledge in order to get registered and to offer your services as a sex worker. However, professional sex work is very different from private sex. Sex work knowledge and skills are essential for professional sex work. This can include things like maintaining a professional emotional distance, focusing on the client's sexual desires instead or in addition to your own, and the possibility of offering your services to more than one client in a day.
So let's talk about some of the motivations to offer sex work. Income is of course a motivating factor for engaging in sex work. Sex work can serve as a primary or sole source of income to support yourself, but it can also be performed occasionally and serve as an additional source of income.
There is a wide range of individual motivations. Often, several factors come together. For example, sex work may be a way for some individuals to survive when no other options exist. Other aspects may include the pursuit of luxury products or the desire to accumulate savings. Supporting family, paying off debt, financing education, or an addiction may also be motivations for sex work.
Depending on the personal situation and motivation, there may be a stronger or a weaker identification with the activity.
However, simply having the willingness to offer sex for money does not automatically lead to success. The idea that sex work is easy and quick way to earn money is really just a cliché.
There are various reasons for that, and one is of course competition. There are many people who offer sexual services. Therefore, it is important to stand out from the crowd. If you can present yourself well, have good communication skills and are flexible in terms of time, and you have a location that is easy to reach, you improve your chances. As in other areas, it is important to provide a good quality service and act professionally to attract and retain regular customers.
The aspect of individual fulfillment is very important in sex work as well. This manifests on different levels. For some people, sex work opens up the possibility to find a way to their own coming out.
Some people do not want to wait for a better future, but instead choose to live in the present, here and now. For example, some people choose to do sex work instead of beginning a different career path that might take a longer time to start earning the amount of money that they want.
Others experiment with dominant or submissive tendencies in the context of sex work.
Furthermore, a motivation may be to make clients happy and/or experiencing appreciation and recognition.
As you see, There are a lot of different situations and motivations.
So let's talk a little bit about how the work looks in practice. Sex work by men and trans people mainly takes place in the online escort sector, but there are exceptions as well. Sex workers who are men and/or trans might also work in various other places, including, but not limited to, street sex work, erotic centers, and brothels.
The first contact between sex workers and possible clients mostly happens online. Your first step in order to offer sex work is therefore to advertise your services. There are several online portals with which sex workers can create a profile. These websites are usually well established and well known among potential customers. Alternatively, sex workers also run their own websites or place ads in newspapers or magazines.
Theoretically, anyone can create a profile on an online platform within a few minutes, because with the first step, you only have to answer several standardized questions about your appearance, your offered services, and your prices. In the second step, you can upload several photos of yourself. Here, it's more important to reflect on what you want to offer and how to create a profile that is competitive, but at the same time unique and authentic.
The main disadvantage of online profile is that sex workers cannot express certain competencies like charisma or body language. It is therefore crucial how you describe yourself in your profile to attract potential customers. This creates a first impression, which is the reason for the potential customer to get in touch, since the initial contact is always made by the customer.
Under certain circumstances, it might also be possible to get in touch by phone. In this case, the tone of the voice will also play a major role. Nonetheless, a key competence for sex workers is to be able to communicate online. And chatting with potential customers is a large part of the daily work. But it is also important to realize that not all inquiries result in a meeting. However, since it is only through communication in the chat that a meeting is scheduled, it is important to invest sufficient time into each inquiry.
Chats with potential customers can vary greatly in content. Some clients ask specific questions about the address and time for a meeting. Others write in detail about the possible meeting and want to address certain wishes before a meeting. Because of these variations, there is no right or wrong in a respectful conversation.
Some people might ask a lot of questions to build trust. Some people might feel lonely and therefore want to chat with someone. Work experience can help you in responding to different situations in a professional and confident manner. You have to be able to read between the lines and to stop conversations that probably won't result in a meeting early on in a friendly but clear way.
Ideally, a chat leads to a meeting. This usually takes place either at the sex worker's home, in a hotel room, or at the client's home. However, the majority of these meetings take place at the sex worker's home. Therefore, it is helpful to have access to a space where you can host your clients.
Time flexibility is a very important point as well, since sex work is not a matter of regulated working hours. Although arranged appointments are possible, there is a high demand of meeting now and immediately.
So, let's talk now about the question of who the customers are. The typical customer does not exist. It is only a cliché that people who buy sex are old and unattractive, and the motivations for buying sexual services are just as varied and individual as the motivation for offering sex work.
The desire for sex and intimacy is a basic human need. People may have a variety of reasons that their sex and intimacy needs are not being met. For example, maybe they don't have the time to invest in meeting people, or they don't want to be in a relationship.
Also, taking the step to buy sex services is not easy for many people, since there is often stigma, shame, and guilt associated with it. Those who pay for sex are often labeled as evil or pathetic and condemned in general. The needs and desires of clients are hardly discussed.
Another aspect is that, depending on the situation, a person can take on both roles, sometimes as a client and sometimes as a sex worker.
I hope we were able to offer you an idea on how daily life looks as a sex worker. If you still have questions or would like to tell us something, don't hesitate to get in touch with Smart Berlin.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to watch our other videos in this series. See you soon!
Bye!